Welcome to Austria. In this video, I will be covering my ultimate one-week itinerary traveling through Austria, beginning in the beautiful city of Salzburg, where we will experience all things Sound of Music, a day exploring the breathtaking Salzburg Lake District, a visit to one of the most charming villages in all of Europe, a stay at a luxury wellness resort tucked in the Austrian Alps, and ending the week with one day exploring the iconic city of Vienna. After landing early in the morning in Vienna, I was off straight to the train station to head to my first destination on my trip in Salzburg. There is a train station located just steps from the airport, so it's super convenient, and the train ride to Salzburg is only about 2.5 hours. I arrived to the most beautiful, warm, sunny day and set off to explore the city by foot. The city is truly so aesthetically pleasing and just incredibly charming. Just about everywhere you look appears to be like straight out of a movie, but that is probably because it kind of is. The Sound of Music was famously filmed here in Salzburg, but we will get into that later because I will be joining quite a few different Sound of Music tourism related activities. Speaking of music, did you know that Mozart was also born here in Salzburg? There also just so happened to be an amazing street festival going on all around the city the day I was exploring, which gave me a fantastic extra taste of the amazing arts and culture scene here in the city. Later that evening, I set out on a Salzburg sunset tour with a company called We Tours. This tour lasts around 3 hours and brings you around to some of the most spectacular golden hour viewing spots all around Salzburg. I highly recommend splurging on this experience. It was one of the highlights of my entire trip. The next morning, we started with a Sound of Maria tour, which starts with being picked up in your hotel lobby like this.
Fill my heart with the sound of music. My heart wants to sing every song it hears.
There are endless options when it comes to Sound of Music themed tours here in Salzburg. This one was with, again, We Tours.
I call myself. That will bring us back to dawn.
Our amazing tour guides performed all of these Sound of Music classics as we traveled to each of the iconic filming locations. This included everywhere from Mirabelle Gardens to the Cathedral that was used to film many of the convent scenes.
Climb every mountain, search high and low.
We also visited Schonbrunn Palace, which has beautiful gardens on site. This is also where you'll find the iconic 16 going on 17 gazebo.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens.
Paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorites.
Edelweiss,
Edelweiss.
From the scenery to the singing, this was truly the most immersive tour we could have asked for.
Happy day, lady-o, lady-o, oh, lady-o, lady-o. Soon the duet will become a trio. Play, lay, oh, low.
Later that day after lunch, we went on a second tour, this time with a tour guide called The Sound of Trudy, which I must say is an incredibly catchy name. This is a great abbreviated option if you're looking for a tour that just sticks around the city and walks you through some of the historic sites, some of which of course being Sound of Music and some just being generally Salzburg itself. Once the tour wrapped up, I made a quick stop at the Quartier Museum. This is one of the top museum attractions in all of Salzburg and covers the city's rich baroque history. I would also highly recommend making a stop to see the inside of the Salzburg Cathedral, which is absolutely spectacular. Another popular museum here in Salzburg is the Mozart Birthplace Museum. You can see it here in the yellow building. Our final activity for the day was a cooking class at Edelweiss Cooking School. This was a fun hands-on experience where we learned how to make pretzels and strudel. We were also served a light dinner and there was even a little evening entertainment. Even Mother Nature had a little show in store for us on the walk back to the hotel. On day 3, we set out to explore the Salzburg Lake District, kicking off our day trip in the charming town of St. Gilgen. This town can easily be accessed by a bus ride from Salzburg, or you could rent a car, especially if you're planning on exploring the area for more than just a day, which I would highly recommend doing and wish I had had enough time to. After walking around for a while, we hopped on the ferry service and headed over to a town called St. Wolfgang. You can use this ferry service to explore quite a few other towns, and the views from the water are absolutely stunning. Once we arrived in St. Wolfgang, we were off to go and board the Schafberg cog railway. This is the steepest cog railway in all of Austria, traveling 4,000 feet to the summit of Schafberg Mountain. The views from the top were absolutely spectacular. I mean, we're talking panorama views, and I believe that there were 11 different lakes you could see from the top. Once you've reached the summit, you can explore some of the hiking trails. There's also a cafe at the top and apparently a hotel. The train runs about every 20 minutes, so you are free to explore for as long as you'd like at the top, and then once you're ready to go back down, you can just grab the next train. After making our descent, we stopped in for a quick lunch right on the lake, which was delicious, and then it was time to head back to Salzburg. Once back in Salzburg, we had one final Sound of Music experience left in store for us. Picnic at the Park is a unique Sound of Music theatrical performance. This takes place at the Schloss Leopoldskron Palace, which is one of the movie's most iconic filming locations.
A drop of golden sun, me a name I call myself. She on the back to a lonely goat herd, soon.
I really loved the flow of this experience, moving and walking between each scene set. The performers were all so talented, especially these little kids. It was overall just a really cool and unique experience. On day 4, I set off to go visit what is known to be one of the most beautiful villages in all of Europe, Hallstatt, Austria. I did this as a day trip from Salzburg, but if you have the time, I highly recommend doing an overnight visit. The train ride took about 2.5 hours, and then it was time to hop on the ferry. The ferry departure times are perfectly synchronized with when the train arrives, so you don't have to worry about catching it at the right time. The ferry cost €4 each way, and make sure you have cash. I'll tell you a story about that later. It is absolutely no surprise to me that this village was the inspiration behind a Disney princess movie, because let me just tell you, it is beyond magical. As I'm sure you've been able to tell by now, I was on a very tight schedule on this trip. I had about 4 hours that I could spend exploring here before I needed to head back. But if you're able to spend more time here, I would highly recommend doing a boat rental and checking out some of the museums. There are a few little boutique hotels and inns here right in town, and I feel like this would be the most magical overnight stay. Alright, so here is the lowdown on Hallstatt. The village is known for being the inspiration behind the movie Frozen, so as you can imagine has become quite the tourist attraction. I was worried when I planned this. I wondered if I was really gonna have enough time to experience it, like would it be worth coming out here. Got in at like 8:40 I want to say, and then we hopped right on the ferry, headed over, and the key to this is definitely coming first thing in the morning. I mean, that's not even first thing in the morning, but probably only was like the second ferry. People also take tour buses here, but that doesn't really seem to be coming in until like 10 and 11. We take the train here, take the ferry, don't book a bus tour. This morning, I mean, it was perfect. There was nobody here. You can get your photos, walk around, you know, go see the viewpoints, and then by the time the crowds come, you can kind of settle in and pick a spot to get something to eat or whatever it might be. It really isn't as crowded as I thought it was going to be, because online obviously everybody's like, it's a tourist trap, it's, you know, there's so many other places, but based on everything I like researched, I think that this place is specifically different than the others. Like, it is so spectacular. It has such a specific aesthetic. It's the mountains, it's the water, the village, the way it's perched on a hill. So I think it is worth the visit. Just be smart about the timing and when you come, and just be prepared. It might be crowded, but it is beautiful, and there's a reason that it's popular, as with most places that are popular. And you need cash for the ferry. Don't make the mistake I made, because I had to ask a random couple to give me cash, and I Venmo'd them. But don't do that to yourself, because that was quite stressful. It is $4 each way, so $8 total for the round trip. And that's where I'm headed now. So I'm taking the ferry back, and then I'll catch the train and head back to Salzburg. On day 5, I bid farewell to Salzburg because I was heading to check in to one of the most beautiful wellness resorts in Europe. After about 2 hours on the train, I arrived and was picked up by a shuttle from the resort. I was so excited and nervous because I had very high expectations for this resort stay, and let me just tell you, when I arrived, my greatest dreams came true. It was everything I could have dreamed of. Welcome to the beautiful and extremely hard to pronounce Naturhotel Forsthofgut, or better spoken from the very kind employee who allowed me to record her pronouncing it,
Naturhotel Forsthofgut.
It has such a better ring to it when she says it. Tucked away in the Austrian Alps, this 5-star eco resort is the ultimate blend of alpine charm and modern wellness. I fell completely in love with this resort, so much so that I decided it's going to be needing its very own video. So be sure to subscribe and double check to see if it's up yet, because I'm going to walk you through everything this resort has to offer, from the massive spa and wellness features, where you'll find both plenty of adults-only spaces and amenities, so perfect for relaxing and unwinding, in addition to a variety of spaces for families with kids of all ages. And when it comes to the guest rooms here, don't even get me started. So I did not expect to have a room in this. Oh my. We got an upgrade. Welcome to the living room of my literal dreams. Welcome to the private sauna. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is a large bathtub. Like, more on this coming soon, so stay tuned. But for now, let's skip forward to my final day of the trip in Vienna. I have one day to spend in Vienna, and hardly even a full day, pretty much just this afternoon until like 9 p.m. So let's see how much we can pack in a day. I used ChatGPT to create a pretty jam-packed itinerary, so we will see what all we are able to squeeze in. So next stop is at the State Hall. This is the Austrian National Library. So let's go check it out. It's known to be one of the most beautiful historic libraries in the entire world. These stairs are no joke. Oh man. So next up on my Vienna marathon sightseeing is Belvedere Palace. Now, let me clarify, this is not the best palace to see in Vienna. The best one is called, I believe, Schonbrunn. I will put the name on the screen. That one is a little bit farther out, and you also have to have timed entry tickets for that, which I do not have. We are here at Belvedere Palace, which is supposed to be great. But I will say I arrived and I'm a little bit regretting my decision. Well, yeah, that's a lot of scaffolding, but hey, we're gonna see what it's about anyway. Okay, crisis averted. The front is actually the better side and is not under construction. So we have made it inside Belvedere and I have locked up my backpack. It costs €2 to do that, so make sure you have some cash. They do have a change machine though if you need it. Fun fact for you, I took art history in college and I failed. Miserably. I think a lot of these paintings were part of the reason. There she is. Cool. I saw it. Time to go. I'll never not see a piece of like iconic art and just hear that TikTok sound after you see it, like that. Okay, let's go. Okay, I'll finish. Hot take, you can skip it unless you really want to see the kiss painting with your own two eyes. Otherwise, it's kind of just an art museum, and there's definitely better art museums in Vienna. But the gardens are gorgeous out front, and you don't need to pay to see these, so you could kind of just walk these, I think, and then skip the inside. Later that day, I realized I still did have a chance to go visit Schonbrunn Palace. While you do need a timed entry ticket to get inside of the palace, you do not need a ticket at all to visit the gardens. I am so glad that I realized this in time because it turns out this is truly the ultimate place to be during golden hour. You could easily spend hours just exploring the grounds of the palace and checking out all of the gardens and trails. Next time I'm in Vienna, I will definitely be coming back to see the inside of the palace. I had a lovely day in Vienna, but I highly recommend that you do Vienna in 2 days. Do not drive yourself crazy like I did. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.